All right, what's going on, you guys? So I've been recording a few clips over the course of December. It's currently Saturday, January 25th, 26th. I don't even know. That's horrible of me. But anyways, I want to introduce you to my garage, to the car, which is a 2000 Volkswagen Beetle. It came equipped with a 1.8T, which is a 4-cylinder turbo engine. It is a 5-speed. Come check this out. And the reason why I'm doing this intro right now is because the original one is all messed up. So after this intro, I'm going to start throwing in all the clips that I accumulated from December. That way it'll get you caught up. And then we'll make another video that will be more current and showing you guys where we're at right now. But anyways, long story short, this is the car. No interior. I have no plans on putting an interior in here besides some seats. This car, before I was running a dash. It was all gutted underneath the dash, but it did have a shell, did have a dashboard. This time around, we're not doing any dash. Cluster will be going back in. We now have a fuel cell in here. That is a new setup. You'll see that in all the clips. We do have some seats which are buried over there. This car is a 5-speed. If I didn't mention that yet. No sunroof. What else we got? I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just a 2000 Volkswagen Beetle manual with no interior. And the goal is to build a 500 to 600 horsepower 1.8T engine. And see how this rips on the street. This is more built for like time attack, street racing. I am a big fan of time attack, rally cars, stage racing. I'm a huge fan of that. So of course, all that stuff is gonna be, this is gonna be inspired by that. So, but yes, now that that's out the way, I'm gonna throw these clips in to get you guys all caught up, and I'll see you on the next video. All right, so this is a KO4 setup. It is it's an aftermarket one, nothing special. I believe I got it off of Amazon or eBay a few years ago. You got your standard intercooler piping, your basic intercooler. This is a stock engine, nothing special. Got the 2.0 in coils. You got the VR6 mat housing. Stock wastegate, stock manifolds. Stock clutch. And just a few upgrades here and there, like the aluminum, I forget what these are called, the little housings for the coolant system. It does have an aluminum radiator by ECS. I've had aftermarket fuel rails on here. Didn't work out too well, so I just went back with the stock one. I am running a 4-bar fuel pressure regulator. What else we got? like I said, it's pretty stock, but it is a quick car. It is on a, what is it, Euros Custom tune. It is the Stage 3. Running the catch can. And like I said, for what it is a quick car, but we want to make a little bit more power. So that's what we're going to be doing for the next couple of months. We're going to be tearing this down and rebuilding the whole car. So this is what we have going on back here. We got a fuel cell, surge tank, battery box. Now I just got this in a couple of days ago. We still have the stock fuel tank in there. We're going to start pulling that out, all the lines. We're going to get rid of all the OEM fuel stuff. This car will be running off a 91, and we're going to be using water meth. So that is something we are setting up. But yeah, that's the trunk. Interior, we have none. Now, I bought this car bone stock. There's no modifications done to it. It had full interior. It was actually in really good condition. I believe this car only had, I want to say 110,000 miles on it, which is low for 2000. Yeah, the car was in really good condition. The paint wasn't that great, but it wasn't horrible. But I ended up stripping the interior. I knew this was going to be my race car. I took the interior out, trashed it. I was running a dash, but this time around we're running no dash. I pulled this brace out last week, I believe. Yeah, repainted it. I'm gonna do some modifications. I had to cut some stuff off just because there's no need. Like for instance, like this section right here, there's no reason for that. So I'm gonna get it trimmed off. Even these right here, I'm taking anything out that I'm not gonna be needing. We do have a short shifter by Megan Racing. Got aftermarket steering wheel. We got the Beetle. These pedals in the footrest is out of a Beetle S, the Turbo S model. You know, you got your GTI handbrake. I do have a pair of Megan Racing seats. They're not in the best condition, but they work. And then obviously, you know, you have your harness. You got the harness bar right there. But yeah, the interior is pretty basic, stripped. Currently it has I want to say a 340 fuel pump, but we're no longer going to be using that. We're going to be doing a inline fuel pump. But yeah, that's the interior. Is to pull the engine out. We're going to throw some rods in there. I have new valves, and the plan is to get some new cams and valve springs. We're going to do the dual valve springs in this, and we're going to do a big turbo setup. I currently have a GT3582 that's going to go on here. It is a little bit larger than I wanted to do, but to make the power that I wanted, I went with this turbo. If I don't like how this one spools up and the low RPMs, then I'll probably go with a smaller one, probably like a GT30. But yeah, we're gonna do a big turbo 1.8T. We're gonna do all the basic maintenance on it, change the timing belt, throw new head gasket on there, do the we're gonna do head studs instead of the bolts. Yeah, we're gonna get this mildly built, not to the extreme, but we're gonna build it up enough to handle, you know, 500 to 600 horsepower. And I do have some other little tricks up my sleeve that I'm going to try. No one's, I honestly, I haven't seen anyone doing this, but I'll show that later on in a different video. It should be pretty cool. It is very different. But yeah, so we're gonna start off by removing probably the intercooler piping, all the hoses, start draining the oil and the coolant, and disconnecting all the plugs. And then hopefully sometime this week we can start pulling this engine out.
Trembling, air feels like October skies. Fumbling, lost all track of space and time. And I know how things must seem so fragile in our shells. And it's not so binary how we journey to ourselves. So how can I help watching the clouds pass through? No clue at the time, no reason to be so doomed. We all know the skies for the first time. They draw the lines, just read in between. I'm chasing you.
Alright, so I'm just draining the coolant right now, and then we'll start disconnecting the radiator hoses. We'll disconnect it from here, and then we'll disconnect it from this one also, this hose. And then we have the lower radiator hose down there. We'll just disconnect it from I don't know if you can see. We'll disconnect it from here. And then now it'll allow us to pull off this whole front end, this radiator support. It's only a few bolts that we need to disconnect. That will be good. That's just about drained. And then we'll work on the oil after that.
Trembling, air feels like October skies. Fumbling, lost all track of space and time. And I know how things must seem so fragile in our shells. And it's not so binary how we journey to ourselves. So how can I help watching the clouds pass through? No clue at the time, no reason to be so doomed. We all know the skies for the first time. They draw the lines, just read in between. I'm chasing you. Pause myself, hold my breath before I die. Like jellyfish beneath the surface, the sparks that make us thrive. And I see
And one thing I don't do is what a bitch say.
I'm walking like this, cause this hammer 4 pounds. Before the microphone, it was hoes, it was pounds. Fuck what a nigga talking about, I need it now. I don't even wanna light it up if it ain't loud. Champagne, campaign, rockin' green D's on the airplane. Paranoid house fuck getting glued up like a hand grenade. Trap phone jumping like a trampoline, did a play a mandolin. But anything in the Chinese whoop case I didn't wanna play. John Wick for the woo wop, big mop, I ain't even clean this shit. Present with me got present on me in a great crew with a ruby. End up, I don't really give a fuck about another nigga politics. OT with a 2-piece, new face, ain't nothing go hit. And then when I walk, yeah, pull up in that ghost, yeah. Pull up with that sauce, yeah. See it in my eyes, yeah. I don't give a
Trembling, air feels like October skies. Fumbling, lost all track of space and time.
All right, so last night my camera died. I didn't get to film everything we were pulling off, but we got the coolant drain, we got the oil drain, we got all the intercooler piping off, the intake hose. We got pretty much everything off. The wiring harness. My son took off the rear transmission mount. What else? Oh, he also disconnected the the shift linkage. He got that. We got to kind of push right here to the side. That way it doesn't get hung up when we pull it out. I started to take off the turbo and the manifold, but I was having issues with the 3 bolts right here. They're really tight. I have put a lot of heat through that manifold, so they're probably like a little seized in there. But I'm just going to leave them in there for now, and I'll work on it once I get the engine out. But yeah, it's pretty much ready to come out. I just have to disconnect the axles. Let me show you. Let me get some light under here. This is pretty much where we stopped because the axles, they take 8mm. Got a bunch of oil down here. All right. I'll get that cleaned up later. But anyways, the axles, they take, I think it's about 6 or 8 Allen wrench bolts in there. They're 8mm, and the Allen wrench that I was trying to use, it wouldn't fit. There we go. So these are the bolts to the axles right here. I would say, yeah, it's about 6 of them. But yeah, the Allen wrench that I was using, oh, you know what? It's not even an Allen wrench. Now that I'm looking at it, it's more like a Torx or a hex. Or not a hex, a Torx. Okay. Well, I screwed up. I went and picked up an 8mm, a ball-in Allen wrench, and that's not going to work now. All right. Well, that changes everything. I'll see if I have a Torx for that. And something I noticed on the wiring harness when I was disconnecting the plugs, which one was it? Maybe this. Is it this one? I believe it's the one that goes right here. One of the wires were cracked and it was ripped. But I definitely need to address that once we get this engine out. Shoot, I don't even. Oh, is it this? Oh, right here. This one right here. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, right there. So we definitely need to fix that wire before we start putting the engine back in. But yeah, we have time. But yeah, so I'm gonna see if I have a torque so I can get these axles off, and then we'll get this dolly underneath the engine, drop the car a little bit, and pull this thing out. All right, so pulling this engine out is gonna have to be on hold because the tool that I need, I have to order it. I just placed the order on Amazon for those to remove the bolts for the axle. So we gotta wait for that. That is a 10 millimeter 12 point. And then also I noticed while I was at it that the axle nut, that is a 30 millimeter 12 point. So I ordered both of those. They should be here tomorrow. Both should be here tomorrow. The axle nut, I'm not really too concerned on getting that right away. That can be later, but I definitely need those. I need to remove those bolts from the axles right there. So we need to get that out ASAP because that is holding us up. And it sucks because I drove way across town to buy these ball-end Allen wrench, and it ended up not being that. So I thought that was I thought the axles took the hex keys, but yeah, I was wrong. But anyway, so we'll get that in tomorrow, and I guess hopefully it gets here early enough we can continue. So since we're gonna have to wait for the tool, I'll focus on the trunk over here. I'll start pulling out all the PTFE lines, the fuel pump, the fuel filter. I can get all the AN fittings. I can start figuring out where I'm gonna mount everything. Yeah, since we're gonna be on hold. Man, that sucks because I really wanted to get this engine out. I wanted to get it sprayed off. I wanted to roll the car out so I could spray the engine bay, get it all cleaned up. But sometimes things don't go as planned. It's all right. I'll live. But let's go get these parts pulled out, and I'll get back to you guys in a minute. All right, I got to dig through all these parts to see where the fuel filter and the fuel pump is at. I also need to get this assembled. This is the engine stand, so that definitely needs to get put together soon. And I also need, I need the AN lines and the fittings. So let me dig through all this stuff real quick. All right, the package has arrived. This should be the tool for to remove the axles. That 12.8 millimeter or 10 millimeter, I mean. We'll get this open and let's hope that it fits. All right, that's what we're looking for. What we got in here? I'm not sure what that is. This is our socket for the axle. This is also 12 point, 30 millimeter 12 point. And we got a new oil drain plug, and I do not remember what that is. So we'll have to open that and see. But yeah, this is the most important part. And yep, so we had a 10 mil right there. So we'll get this open and try it on the boat. And let's keep our fingers crossed so we can get this engine out. And also, our intercooler showed up today. So we'll get this open. We'll get this open and we'll check that out. All right, let's go pull this motor out. All right. Moment of truth. 10. Let's get some light. Let's get some light so you guys can see what's going on. Uh-oh. Alright, now it's good. I probably just need to clean those out. Because it seems like it has a lot of dirt and grime in there. So I'll clean those out. Yeah, it's pretty dirty. But yeah, I'll clean those out and we'll get these bolts removed. We just have we have this side, and then we have the ones over here for this axle. So yeah, let's get those out so we can get this engine pulled.
Trembling, air feels like October skies. Fumbling, lost all track of space and time.
All right, let's see if I can get this bar wedged in between the brake pedal and something in here. Yeah. Okay, that might work. Okay, let's try that. There we go. All right, one down and 11 to go. All right, so we got all the bolts off. The axle is now disconnected. Let's check it out. Right there. So once you disconnect the 6 bolts, this axle will separate from the, I guess, not sure what that's called. It's like an inner shaft, but it's the section that goes into the transmission. We got the passenger side off right there, as you can see. So yeah, we're ready to pull this thing out. I'm just gonna double check, make sure I got all the lines. I'm pretty sure I got everything, but it won't hurt to double check or triple check. And then so right now I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna drop the engine with this right here. Figure out, probably just position it like that. That way it can hold the transmission and the engine. And then I'll just loosen my 18mm bolts right here on both sides, and what that'll do is lower the engine onto this. But first, obviously I'm gonna drop the car a little bit more until it makes contact with this, or at least right above it, and then I'll loosen the bolts to the mounts, and then that'll lower it onto there. I've done it with Hondas, so I'm pretty sure it'll work. But yeah, let me get this car lowered and I'll get back to you. All right, as you can see, the side needs to come down just a little bit more. this side's already, I think it's touching already. Yeah, this side is already touching, but yeah, we just need to come down a little bit more, get that oil pan on the engine. All right, we'll loosen these bolts a little bit more.
So how can I help watching the clouds pass through? No clue of the time, no reason to be subdued. We all know the skies for the first time. They draw the lines, just read in between. I'm chasing you. Pause myself, hold my breath before I die.
Oh shit. I think I just broke the dolly.
There feels like October sky. Falling, lost all track of space and time. And I know how things seem.
All right, so. All right, so you probably just finished my first video. I'm gonna come out with a second one, probably like 2 or 3 of them before we're actually caught up. I know in the intro I mentioned that after this one, you know, you would be caught up to where everything is current, but I just realized I just have way too much footage to squeeze into this first video. I believe this first video is about 35 minutes, so I didn't want to make it too long and bore you guys too much. But yeah, so this is the end of the first one. I will be putting out the second one, the second part of this breakdown, probably in a couple days. So hope you guys enjoyed this first one. The videos are only going to get better, so stay tuned.